I, 31F, share 2 children, 9M and 8F, with my ex-husband Aaron, 35M. Aaron's cheating ended our marriage, and before long he had moved in with Nicole, 34F, and her children, 11, 10, 8 and 6. Aaron and Nicole have a 2-year-old together and they're expecting another child. Even before Aaron and Nicole met, she homeschooled her children. While my kids attend public school. This was mentioned as a problem before they were even married, but I ignored them. Now this has come up again and they are being a thorn in my side about it. Nicole said it is unfair for her children to see mine go to school while hers do not. She told me her kids have become jealous and it's causing issues for her parenting and for her and Aaron's family. I told her this was not my problem and she needed to figure out how to manage that. As that is the life of blended families. Not everything will be the same or equal for the kids from different marriages. Aaron asked me to homeschool a few times and I told him I would not entertain the idea. He even asked the kids who were worried when they came to me about it. They didn't want to leave their friends and teachers and they didn't want to stay home all day like Nicole's kids. I reassured them I would not be saying yes to homeschooling for them. Now Nicole and Aaron are on a mission to make me agree to Nicole homeschooling my kids alongside hers. Apparently they have the 2-year-old started into some form of pre-K homeschooling and they feel it's only fair for my kids to join in too. I said no. I even had my lawyer send their lawyer a letter officially stating my position on this. My lawyer has also documented everything. They asked their lawyer to take this back to court and get a judge to overrule me, but their lawyer told them this would not go in their favor. My ex was so unhappy about it that he told me all of this and it gave me the chance to document that also. Now they're claiming I don't have a good reason to refuse other than to disrupt their home and to keep Nicole from playing a bigger role in the lives of my children. And to prevent sibling bonding between Nicole's kids and mine. I told them I have many reasons to say no and they just need to accept it. I stopped replying after this. But since school ended for the summer, I have been inundated with pressure from them over this. They are worried that I'll send them to school in September as planned. Which will happen. I feel like the kids wanting to go to school should also count, and I told Aaron this before. Comment 1. Absolutely NTA. No, thanks, Aaron, I'm going to continue to trust the professionals over your current wife. Her comfort is not my concern. Comment 2. This NTA, OP, honestly I would go back to court to have in writing that school stays the same and they need to drop it or you'll be requesting more parenting time for the kids' mental health not to be disturbed by the stress this is causing them. Short story 2, not cooking breakfast for my niece and nephew? My 36M sister, 34F, moved into my house about 2 months ago with her 2 kids, 7M, 4F, after she ended a really bad relationship. I've always been an early-ish riser and like to get up and make myself some breakfast around 7 or 8 a.m. Nothing spectacular, just whatever I felt like that day. When my sister moved in, I realized quickly that she liked to sleep in. Some days she was up as late as 1 p.m. I gave her the benefit of the doubt since I knew how hard her breakup was for her. Since my sister slept so late daily, she wouldn't get up and take care of her kids. I got into a routine with my niece and nephew that basically whatever I cooked myself for breakfast, I'd make enough for them as well until the other morning. I woke up and had an urge to make huevos rancheros. The kids immediately started complaining that they didn't want that and wanted something different. I was nice and ended up making them pancakes since it's not their fault that their mom is really struggling. The next morning, I was making breakfast potatoes and eggs, but all I heard was, "We don't want that. We want something different." So again, I obliged. Finally, after 3 mornings of my unwanted food critics getting a separate meal, I finally told them I'm no longer cooking 2 different meals for breakfast. If you don't like what I'm making, go ask your mom to get up and do it. So, they went upstairs to wake her up, but she still didn't come downstairs until after 1 p.m. The kids immediately started complaining that I refused to feed them and my sister was pissed. She started in about how they need to be fed by a certain time and a bunch of other things that she said to try and intentionally hurt me. I snapped and told her, look, I know you're depressed, but wake up and take care of your ducking kids instead of expecting me to do it. She got quiet after that and is still giving me the cold shoulder, but I know she's expecting me to apologize. Sorry this was long-winded, but let me have it. Comment 1. Sleeping till 1 p.m. means she's missing their breakfast and lunch. Ages 7 and 4 and still pretty dependent on an adult for balanced meals. Your sister is lame. Comment 2. I wanna know who was feeding the kids before this, since it sure doesn't seem like mom gives a crap. And what happens if one of the kids wakes up during the night? A nightmare or not feeling well? Does she throw a fit for them waking her up? Story 3. How I responded when my husband asked me to pay for stepson's surgery. I've been with my husband for about 5 years. He has a son from his previous marriage. Let's call him Ether, who moved in with us when he was 16. From the start, things were very, very difficult. Ethan was hostile toward me. He never liked me and had kept me at arm's length, and constantly hurt my feelings with his mean-spirited, offensive comments about my age or living situation. He made it clear he didn't want me in his life. While his dad was struggling financially, I offered to help pay for college. I did this because I want to help, but my husband's response? You can't buy your way into being his mom. That hurt a lot. But okay. I respected their choice and didn't push. Ethan recently got sick and needs surgery. He has been for 4 months but used to take medication till now he needs surgery. He reached out to his dad, asking for financial help. My husband came to me and asked if I'd be willing to contribute, hoping this might be a chance to rebuild a relationship. I just said no. He said this could be the perfect opportunity to make things right between me and Ethan. I said I won't buy my way into being his mom, can I? He didn't take it well. He said I was being cruel and petty, and now he's even saying he's reconsidering our marriage because he thinks I should put the pettiness aside and help Ethan regardless. But I still refused. Comment 1. Sounds like you're shouldering all the financial responsibility while receiving none of the respect from these relationships. Stand your ground. Comment 2. NTA within the context that your husband and stepson have patterns of very shitty, exploitative behavior. They're nice if they need your cash, emotionally abusive if they don't. That's a giant problem. I'm sure this isn't an isolated incident. Story 4. Telling a woman to keep her comments to herself in an elevator. This happened earlier today. I was waiting for the elevator in my office building. The doors opened, no one was directly in front of me, so I stepped in. A woman and an elderly couple were just behind me, but I hadn't seen or heard them until after I got on. As soon as I stepped in, the woman complained out loud that I didn't let her on first. I was caught off guard, but I apologized and said there was plenty of room for everyone, so it wasn't a big deal. I wasn't trying to cut anyone off, I genuinely didn't notice anyone behind me. She got on with the couple but kept going, saying how rude I was, how I had no manners, how people like me are what's wrong these days, stuff like that. This went on for at least a minute, maybe more, and eventually I snapped a bit. I raised my voice and said, "Could you just keep your comments to yourself?" She went quiet, but the old couple sort of whispered something to her and gave me a look. Now I'm wondering if I just confirmed whatever idea they had about me, like maybe I actually was the jerk here. I honestly didn't mean to offend anyone. I just wanted to ride the elevator in peace. Comment 1. NTA. You didn't start the conflict, you apologized, and you only responded when the behavior became excessive. It's okay to set boundaries when someone is being hostile in a confined space like an elevator. So no, you're not the a-hole here. Comment 2. If they think that's what's wrong with the world, their world is too small. Weird etiquette rules like this baffle me. Extra, choosing to go to my grandfather's funeral over my unborn daughter's 20-week ultrasound?
My wife, F25, and I, M26, are expecting a baby girl due in November.
We are both so excited for it. I've been talking to her through my wife's belly, being excited, feeling kicks, all of the fun stuff. 3 weeks ago we scheduled the 20-week ultrasound. It'll be closer to 22 weeks. The last week and a half my grandfather's health had been slowly diminishing. I had a talk with my father and family and were told that sometime within a week of his passing we would have the funeral. This made my wife and I have to talk about the plan. I was asked to be a pallbearer at the funeral. She said she'd want to stay home with the dogs so we didn't have to board them and that I could go by myself to the 4.5-hour trip up north to my father's hometown. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away late last night/early this morning. I called my father to make sure he was okay, which he was holding on as much as one would when your father passes away. But I was told the funeral would be held at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. This just so happens to be the exact same day that my wife has the ultrasound. My wife is now upset that I plan to go to my grandfather's funeral instead of go to the ultrasound appointment. I said, well, we could FaceTime? But it's my grandfather, I know FaceTime isn't the same. But she said, yeah, but this is your daughter. Now she is mad and upset at me. I'm emotionally torn from this because I'm so excited for my baby girl but also really sad about my grandfather. I want to know if I'm the asshole here. My wife's feelings are always going to be valid, but I feel like mine aren't being considered in this situation. I don't know. Comment 1. NTA. The appointment could be rescheduled, the funeral cannot be. I've delivered 5 children. I was glad when my husband could be at my appointments, but often he couldn't be. It's not the end of the world. Comment 2. Your wife needs to reschedule the ultrasound like a normal compassionate spouse and go to the funeral with you. She is the only R here,